take it for someone who's doing it on a regular basis, it's more work to take the time to craft a story, take the time to present somebody, even just showing sex in a more naturalistic way. It's way more work. And there, let's say out of 10 shoots, I might be able to publish eight. You know what I mean? And it's because not everything works out. And the way that I'm choosing to create content is so much more naturalistic that the people who I end up shooting with, we're coming together to collaborate and create something. And I always communicate that their safety, their comfort, their consent is overrides everything else in the space.
Right.
And so sometimes that means that we're all there, we're all excited, but we don't get to the finish line, and that's okay. Like I'm willing to have a margin of more or less loss to be able to create something that I actually want. And I don't take it too hard. You know.
I love it.
So let me ask, because I'm the resident poet and the resident I read like crazy. Um, you said that you have a 5 to 10 year kind of perspective. At what point are you gonna adapt Eric Jerome Dickey and get this Nia Simone on?
Good question.
Because
Good
I
question.
need
Good
to see,
question.
Go, Kim.
I need to see Nia Simone Bijou, that Trinidadian temptress.
Bring that to life.
I'll tell you this, like the again, those stories are sort of they just come to me. If I'm watching other media or reading stuff and I have like a trigger of about a thought of a moment because normally we think about a movie or a TV series and it's a
Yeah.
sequence of things happening, but even in one of those moments, you're telling a story. So even if it's a conversation in bed, if it's done well, it's interesting. You can connect to it. So I gather inspiration for stories from like everywhere. Licensing stories though, that's a little bit more of a challenge, right? And then
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't, I I'm not that big of a fish that I can handle too much controversy at this point. I'm just trying to focus on growing. But I do eventually see series and more like long term story arcs and stuff like that happening in the future. It just not right now. There's too many things I'm
No,
trying
well,
to.
I meant more in the 5 to 10 years
Oh,
and beyond,
mm,
because I find like some of these stories and some of the scenes that are in here are just so beautifully crafted,
mm,
writer wise, that me, I'm the kind of person that whenever someone tells me a story, whatever I'm reading a story, I am always visualizing it in my head. So I'm always seeing what's going on in my head. So I'm like, when you have something that is so complete as a Eric Jerome Dickey's
mm,
book, or a Zane, or
yeah,
etc., because we have quite a few black erotica writers, which I think we're
right.
blessed. It's a blessing to have them. Um, and I'm thinking about you and the fact that it's very soft and gentle. You know, you don't always have to be wham bam thank you ma'am kind of deal. You
Yeah,
can have sensuality when it comes to sex and black bodies.
right.
um I was just like, that this is just a natural eventual collaborative. I'm putting it out there in the universe for you.
I
Want you
got
to
you.
get a call from Eric Jerome Dickey for the movie rights.
Yeah, man, that would be cool. I do see in the future, in order to sort of step up production, is make this more than a one man show and have other production teams and people editing the content. It's just when you can do everything, it's hard to start letting go pieces of it. You feel me?
Yeah,
But I would
absolutely.
have to graduate into that space
Right.
before I start like entertaining larger and larger projects. You know?
But I guess also there's a certain level of trust that you have to have with the people that you're working with, because
Of course.
if you want to keep what I hear from you when you're speaking is that you have a certain level of there's a certain level of intimacy, but there's a high level of trust between you and your collaborators, and you can't just bring any and anybody on set. Like you can't just put, okay, I'm looking for a
The
production
video,
assistant to
yeah,
work on
Right.
a porn set. You're gonna get 300,000 applications
yeah,
of people who
and
just want to
and
be there
just,
panting.
but that's the thing. I've had this conversation a lot recently about why there's a genuine challenge around letting go of the control around the production is because I know I'm interested in the art. I know I'm interested in the storytelling. I can find someone who claims to be, and the space that I'm creating is a very vulnerable space, especially let's say for women. And I know my intentions. I know that I'm not interested in doing anything but creating the content, but people have their wounds and it's not always visible for you to see. If I bring someone into this space, it's hard to trust that they will handle things the way I would.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I don't coerce in any way. I'm like hypersensitive to that shit. So if something's happening and she seems like she's not interested in moving forward, and the guy's like, "Come on, just do another one." I'm like, "That's it." Because no is enough, right?
Yeah.
I'll figure it out in the edit. I'll reconfigure stuff, but I do not um, entertain that coercion or anything like that in that space. And so if I'm physically not there, you know what I'm saying, and at the same time somebody else is running the space, there's a fear around that, and I'd rather stay small than to start a fire I can't put out. Let's say.
Right.
Right.
It's
How many
very
people are on your team? I know you said it's you and your lady that are there. Who else is part of your crew?
That's it.
That's it? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's actually watching right now. So is it Ken?
Hey,
She's
Rish.
sorry, Ferguson. Your first name is Ken.
Kim.
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 Kim. Yeah.
Yeah, she says you sound Trini. Is that the case here?
No, I am Jamaican and Haitian, but
Oh, okay.
I do have Trinidadian friends and family. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Jamaican. She's Trini.
Oh, okay. I love
So
it.
come
yeah,
on,
she's
Alice.
yeah. We're hardworking as you imagine, and so the reason why it's just us two is because we're creating again it's a space thing, right? A lot of people I'm working with, they may not do this for a living. A lot of people who do this and make content and publish it on a platform like OnlyFans only shoot themselves. So by the time, they may think, oh, I can do what I'm already doing, but now somebody's running the camera. They don't understand there's a different dynamic, right? When
Right.
it's just you in the room with your partner or by yourselves, that's one thing. But when there's a guy standing in the room and all these other things happening, it doesn't always go the way people think it does. So imagine adding more people to that scenario, like arbitrary number of like 5 or 6 or 7 people. This guy's doing craft services, that guy's putting up the lighting. It becomes a pressure thing. It is already enough pressure just being us two. So um, it's doable with two. It's still fun, and so if I were to create another team, it would probably work the same way.
Right. 'Cause to keep that intimacy, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I
Because
get that.
that's like the heart of all of it, right? So
Right.
I don't want people to pretend. I don't want fake orgasms or anything like that.
Right.
I just want what's natural happening.
And then you're bringing in different energies too, who
Yeah,
may not have the same vision as you, if you will. They may not be as passionate about it, and so their
yeah,
energy is going to project, into that whole scene. So I get it. Keep it small and just make sure that as you continue to grow and build a team, just making sure that they are right for you and what
yeah.
you're doing.
And that's just
Um,
the like I was saying. I'm from the IT world, so I'm a people person in that I can have conversations and I can
right.
set up a scenario, but I'm very like regimented and very strict with my time and all that stuff. And if I were to have other people working with me, it's I have to grow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy yet. I have to grow into that position, just like I had to grow to get to this point where I can maintain the work that I'm doing now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So this, if you had just tuned in, we are talking about Black Erotica, and we are talking to the owner and the creator of Blktouch. Please go out and support. His work is amazing. Brian
Thank you.
Dwayne, love his content. It's beautiful. It's work of art. And if you wanted to work with him, how could they work with you? Like, what does that process look like?
Um, so there's a form on the website where they can submit their information. So if they go to the main menu on the website, there's a link that says "Want to Shoot." That takes them to a form where they fill out a few bits of information, um, and that gets submitted to me, and I make a decision whether or not I'm interested. But that ends up having a sort of like database of people that um, I have to sort of like reach out to if I'm going to a city. So I just got back from New York. I shot like 10 scenes out there, and a good portion of the people I shot with were new. But only because over time they submitted the information that I was able to reach out to them about 2 weeks prior to the travel. Um, and I'm very sensitive about the audience I want to create for. So I'm thinking about black women in their mid 30s and 40s and up.
Yeah.
And I also want, like, I have a preference for shooting that demographic, right? Because I would say that the real challenge is this: that a lot of the content that's out there is not reflective of the entire audience. That's kind of the point of Black Touch. The audience that gets the least energy, the least attention would be the black woman in this scenario, right? So if you just create stuff and you keep them in mind, and you believe that if you respect them and that you don't, because there's enough of the other stuff out there, right? So I'm doubling down, I'm betting and doubling down on creating content that features women of different sizes, skin tones, ages, right? So that you can finally see something that shows you, as a viewer of the content, shows you or a body type like yours, something that you can identify with more easily, right? Because there's way more people that's not being addressed than are, you know. And it's a big task, but it's also like at the heart of what I'm trying to do is to address that audience directly. So if people submit, I very much have a preference for people in their 30s and 40s. It's just that there's fewer of them submitting, I would say.
I'm glad that you're doing that because I always think about that we aren't catching, when I say we, my age group, early 40s, I'm in my late 30s, but you really don't see us out there on TV shows. You'll see like the late 20s, early 30s. I'm just thinking of like shows like Girlfriends, for example. What's the ones on BET? I can't think of the other ones. Is it?
There's sisters on BT, but they're younger though.
Shows on BET
Sisters,
about girlfriends, maybe not. Anyways, they
sisters.
not in their 40s,
Right.
and so I wonder, like why aren't we featured? And I think it's because we are overlooked because they think, well, we aren't going to make, who's going to watch them? It's like,
Right.
well, no, oh, sisters
Yes.
is the other one, yeah. And so it's fresh and exciting to see someone in their late 40s shown in this way. Maybe she has little tiger marks or
Of
whatever.
course.
Maybe she's going through her hormonal shift, her hormonal change, and she wants to feel sexy and to get that all captured.
And I will tell you
It's a work of
this:
art.
the thing that inspires me a lot about it is because the stories. I mean, I'm in my mid 40s. I'm 44, so the stories I want to tell have, I want to feel connected to it as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just make stuff for people to click and like. I want people to feel a way. And as the writer and the director, I'm projecting my belief into the work to some degree, right? I'm
Right.
projecting what I think is interesting, and um, if I could sort of like craft the space, I would very much work with or create stories that relate to, let's say, a woman who's recently divorced or are in her, let's say, 40s or 50s and remembered that lover she had when she was 20 and
Oh,
reconnecting. These things are interesting to me, like, but we're not going to find someone taking the time to tell that story, especially in the erotica space.
right.
So um, everything for me starts with that story I'm trying to tell and that perspective that I don't think I've seen before. And then we all get together and try our best to capture it.
I love it because it's like different stories out here, but they aren't being told for fear of who's going to listen to me. Am I going to be judged? Is this even relatable? But it really is relatable. This woman who's, maybe she's had the kids, divorced, maybe she is in love again, and now she's having this amazing sex like she's never had it before in her 20s. You
Right, right.
know, so what does that look like? So we'll definitely have to continue this conversation with part two. If you were looking for someone who's in their 40s who wants to capture all of that, I am here.
Okay, I'm down. Trust.
I am here even to capture the space of tantra, the space
Hmm.
of, just those intimate moments of touching your partner, that sexual energy exchange. What does that look like?
Yeah.
You may even still have on all of your clothes or maybe like some just casual clothing, but it's that sexual energy exchange that
Right.
oftentimes isn't captured on camera. So it's 8:48. We have a few more minutes. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to share for the guys or viewers that are watching? Did you have any questions that you wanted to ask for the creator and the owner of Black Touch? Anybody
Can
want
y'all
to
hear me?
share?
I think my mic is a little. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So I really am interested and really do love the fact that you're breaking down barriers, especially for men and especially for black men, just to see that picture of that beautiful black woman in two men. I know that earlier we were talking about how men, and I believe black men, were kind of taken aback by their
Yeah, they were.
positioning.
Hmm.
Uh, they're taken aback because they don't get exposed to that all the time, but that happens more than we like to admit.
Right.
But it's hush because it doesn't seem too manly to have
Right.
those kind of spaces happening. Do you see yourself continuing to do that, or are you going to ease into something in those uncomfortable scenes like that? Not for you, but for the public that gives that rah rah back to you.
So there's a balance that I have to strike because I'm not in front of the camera and I don't ask people to do things with their bodies that they're not comfortable with, right?
Sure.
So just like I was saying in the beginning, what I start off with is the I know who I'm working with, I know when and where, time of day, then we create a story around that, right? Like what they're interested in, open to doing, we create a story around that. So to that extent, I may have an intention to show more of a particular thing or subject or theme, but it has to vibe with the people I'm working with, right?
The energy for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Right. And that's the thing. Like there's too much of sort of like an idea being forced on the performer, right? Like, oh, we're gonna need you to do 5 minutes of back shot, come on her face, all this stuff where you're telling people what they have to do, and so they're not present, they're in their head,
Mm-hmm.
and we get sort of like this factory output, right?
Yeah.
That
Right.
has less and less of a soul. So when Twila says this is more art than not, I would think it's really more that yeah, this is that. I agree, thank you. But this is also it is porn, but it's just that we're trained to see porn in a particular light because it's like devoid of the intention of pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like the intention of spectacle is the first thing. Well, how can we get this person to stop scrolling? How can we get them to share this? How can we go viral? You know, all this, that's sort of like the first part. Oh, let's do something that no one would ever do on camera and then circulate that and try to get attention off of it. And again, everything has its place. It's just that that feels like it's not worth creating, you
I
know?
want to get you down here to Louisiana real quick. I want to get you down here to Louisiana or Texas, man. So when I do table work, I want to capture that moment. So I'm definitely getting on your site.
All right, good,
I don't
good.
know if you ever got tantra before or table work before, but I'm loving what I'm seeing, man. It's
I'm
definitely
totally down. I'm totally down to shoot it. That's why there's a segment of the website called Pleasure Portraits, because I don't
right.
want to. Sometimes it's just about showing pleasure and us observing it from outside. Um, so there's a space that's specifically created for that on the site, you know. And so
Beautiful.
I'm definitely down to shoot that content.
I love it. We have a question. Jane underscore Mo says, at Black Touch, what was the specific event that moved you from judgment to openness?
Good question.
Wow. Getting
Good
Oh,
divorced.
question.
wow.
Getting
Can you
divorced.
answer
Find
that in a few
myself.
minutes?
Found myself back out in the world and outside of my bubble. You know, I had a wife and two kids, and 36 or 37, we went through a divorce, and now I found myself in the dating world and interacting with people that I probably would have never came across before.
Right.
And it was part of the key for me to sort of like stop using the judgment that I was handed in my childhood as sort of like this is the only way of being. Everything that's not this is wrong. And start really evaluating myself and my life. And yeah, through that experience, just really harrowing one, but through that experience, I came out on the other side a lot less judgmental, a lot more open minded, a lot more willing to see people as they are.
Mm. Tiffany.blue says divorce often puts you in a space to look and process things in a totally different manner. I would have to agree with that. It does change you, and you do look at things differently. Um, I love this conversation that we had with so many other points that I wanted to go over. We'll definitely have to do a part two.
Cool.
And I had put the question out on Facebook too. I said, your homework is to watch Black Touch and report back on what you saw. And so the feedback was really good. They said they liked the content, they liked how you captured the different couples that were involved, from the lighting to just how they were moving.
Mhm.
And one young man said that he watched all the clips, all the snippets, and that he will definitely be
What?
subscribing.
That's a lot. I
It
appreciate
is. I
it
mean, I had my
because
glass of wine and I was just like, okay,
for the
I
people
liked
who
this.
don't know, the website's like a lot of the content is free. All I ask
Right.
is that people subscribe to the mailing list, which is notifies them that a new scene's come out. But once you subscribe, you basically get to see all these stories and sort of like a preview into what the full sex intimacy is. Because again, I made the stories free because I want to tell them. I don't want to put them behind a paywall. Um, and I also use a mailing list because, and that's the thing that some people feel a way about, but I use a mailing list because it allows me to grow my audience without having to use Instagram or Twitter and all of that
Mm-hmm.
because those places are not friendly to the content that I make. So
Mm-mm.
um, I'd rather know that you're interested in the work and I'll reach out to you over and over again until maybe you become a member someday.
I love it. So, can you please share how they can find the website? And I think, Kim, did you put the Instagram information in the comments as well?
Yeah, I
So,
did
Black
that a
Touch,
while ago.
okay. If you want to
Cool.
tell them about the website, what the website address is, and how they can follow you.
Sure. So the website is blktouch.com. And every social media platform is BLK Touch. So Instagram, Twitter, we're on TikTok, but not doing much there. Um, And yeah, once you subscribe, you're gonna basically get access to all the content. Subscribing to the mailing list. So I'm not saying as a paying subscriber, but subscribing to the mailing list, you get access to all that content and projects that we have coming up. Which, like in November, or beginning of November, I'm doing my first live event, and if you subscribe, you'll be able to see when we start promoting that as well.
Ooh, so can you tell us more about your upcoming events?
It's one singular event at this point, but
Okay.
essentially it's an erotic art show. We're gonna have BDSM demonstrations. We're gonna have different performers, tantric massage. There's gonna be neural massage and
Ooh.
vendors and music and this is my first event, so and I'm still sort of like sorting a bunch of it out with my partner.
Hmm.
But we're definitely going to be making an announcement like very soon.
Ooh, please keep us posted. Definitely want to support, if we can at all, if we can, if
Appreciate
it's
it.
possible, I will be there. Yes, yes, I
I
love
like
it.
that.
I love it. I love it. Let's see. Blktouch.com and they're on Twitter. Kim and Boris, do you have anything that you want to add to the show? Any last minute thoughts, questions?
I'm a fan. So
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
just say, hey, appreciate you for coming out, man. I can't even
Cool.
wait to work with you for the Tantra's part of it and the other stuff, man. That's all I got.
All
That's
right,
it.
appreciate that, man.
No, I really appreciate the material that's coming out. Even the little trailers that you are able to share on
Mhm.
Instagram, it kind of brought me back to Cinemax days,
Mm.
where there's like a
Come on
woman
now,
telling a
soft porn.
story
Come
and then just
Yeah,
some
yeah,
on,
little
yeah.
yes.
snippets. It really brought me back to a time where story was
Yeah.
really a big part of those, like
Was.
those blue movies back in the
Mm.
day that you if you had Cinemax, for the
Yeah,
people who know what
yeah.
Cinemax is,
Yes.
you know, and it wasn't full on porn, which is
Mm.
why I guess it was called B movies, but there
Yeah.
was still a lot of that sensuality and that
Of course,
story
yeah,
that was
yeah.
incorporated in me. You can get me with a good story. So
Good, good.
kudos
Oh
to
yeah.
y'all, and I'm looking
Thank
forward
you.
to the future content,
Thank you so much.
I
and
am.
for you to get a contract with EJD, Eric Jerome Dixon. Yeah, you know.
It's gonna happen. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was fun. We have to do this again because I still have some questions to ask and some
Sure.
other talking points that I wanted to go over. But this was amazing, to hear about how you got started and how you just kind of fell into it,
Yeah, yeah.
just, by taking your photography took you to a different level. So that's key in how you you came back from divorce, rediscovered yourself, and so that is truly an amazing thing. It's very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
So thank you guys for tuning in to A Taste of Twila After Dark. It's me, your girl here, Twila Be Good. If you are in the Dallas Fort Worth area and you are in need of an intimacy coach, relationship coach, you want to take sex classes, you can go to my website at twilabegood.com and book your class or your coaching session there. The upcoming event I have is Saturday, actually, Ladies Naughty Night
Yeah.
Out. You can go ahead and get your tickets, go online for that. And then the next big event is in October. Yes, all about kink, the kinky Libras. Yes, my girlfriend and myself, we will be talking about all things BDSM, orgasms, all that good stuff. So look out for that. Kim, do you have anything going on in Canada?
Just the usual radio show every Tuesday evening on Soul Perspective. Soul PCKUT is the handle. We're concluding our August session, and in September, we're going to be talking with folks with disabilities, black folks with disabilities, or that are in some way supporting the disabled community. So I'm really excited about
Cool.
that. We've been talking to artists and creators for the month of August. So yeah, every Tuesday evening from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 to 7:30 p.m. CT time, ckut.ca, or you can just go to soulpckut and just follow that page, and you'll get every week you'll get the our guests, and that's what's going on. Boris, what you got going on?
Nothing, man. I'm chilling. I got some hoochie daddy photos coming out this weekend. So I'm
Okay.
gonna, you know, I'm listen. I'm newly single in these streets. Applications going out. Hoochie daddy photo shoot. Let's get it. Let's go.
Boy's got applications going out. He been working out. He been doing his thing. He is on the market, ladies. On the
Yes.
market. Got the beard going on. He got a
Yes.
hat on, but he bald head, nice and shiny at the top. So just saying, ladies. He's there. Kim, he is single too. Ladies, if you in Canada, Kim, a whole single man out in these streets. Trying to help y'all. Just saying. Gotta look out for my bearded men. Woo! Tonight's episode was really, really hot. I have never been like three bearded guys in one room. Woo,
That's
yes.
that sounds like a Black Touch movie. Three bearded guys in Canada.
Let me go on and call the bearded guy. Let me go on and call the bearded guy and let him know we about to make us a movie. Yes, we are. So
I
once
love
again,
it.
thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back again on the 6th of September, and we will be talking about the do's and don'ts of BDSM.
Very
Yeah, the
good.
different rules to BDSM. You just can't go in there and start swinging and hitting everybody. That's not how that works.
Yeah, let's not do that.
So we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of BDSM. Please tune in. We will be back here on the 6th of September. Before we leave, my motto is sex shouldn't leave a bad taste in your mouth. So please be mindful of what you are eating because no one wants to taste funky spunk. So please make sure your diet is right because what you put in your body is going to come out. And if you want your partner to swallow your jism juice, it must taste freshy. Freshy. I've been drinking wine. It must taste fresh. Okay? Kim, what you
and
got for us?
and like I like to say, there is no sex without consent and permission. So always obtain both at all times, because anything else is no bueno.
All right. All right. We out. You guys have a great week. Thank you
Take
again.
care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Peace. Thank you.